Fusion Mobile, quality e-learning experience on the go.
So the first thing we have is the definition of a consignment. So consignment of goods means when the owner of a particular goods send his goods to an agent for the agent to sell his goods on his behalf. So it occurs in business whereby the owner of a particular goods might not be the one to sell the goods himself, whereby such a goods will be sold by an agent. That agent can be a local agent or an international agent. So that's what consignment of goods is all about. So whenever goods is being sent by the owner of the goods to its agent, and the agent sells the goods on behalf of the owner of the goods. So parties to consignment, we have two parties to consignment. As said earlier, we have the owners and we have the agents. So when talking about the owner is the consignor or owner of the goods. Consignor doing consignment contract, and we have the consignee. These are the two parties we have in what we have the consignment contract. So what are the entries in the book of accounts? So we are going to have two book of accounts. We are going to have the consignor account, while also we are going to have the consignee's account. So in the book of the consignor account, the following accounts have to be prepared. Consignor account, in the book of the consignor account, the following accounts have to be prepared. Number 1, A, the consignor is going to prepare goods sent on consignments. Goods sent on consignment. And B is going to prepare the consignee account, which is a debtor account. Goods sent on consignment account, consignee account, which is a debtor's account. And also it's going to prepare consignment account. Let's call it consignment account. So the consignor in his book is going to prepare goods on consignment account, or simply consignment account, and call it the consignment account. And also it's going to prepare consignee account, going to maintain account on behalf of the consignee, which is going to be a debtor account. And says these are the major two accounts to be prepared by the consignor. And you can also prepare, for instance, you can also prepare the bank account to show entry of the transaction. You can. These are the major two we have to prepare, and you can also prepare bill receivable account. It's possible. Bill receivable account, and so on and so forth like that. Now, in the book of the consignee, the consignee is going to prepare, number 1, going to prepare the consignor account. Going to prepare the consignor account, the consignor's account. It's going to prepare again. It's going to prepare. You're going to maintain sometimes bill payable account. Again, can also maintain debtors, consignment debtors account. Let them call it debtors account only. Debtors account. If any goods is sold on credit within the period, debtors account. So these are the accounts to be maintained by the consignor and consignee. So they have said that okay, in the book of the consignee, the consignor account serves as the creditor's account. So we have to look at everything, and when we are talking about the consignment, we should know much about the pro forma invoice, because whenever the consignor is to send goods to the consignee, such goods will be sent with a particular invoice, which is called the pro forma invoice. The pro forma invoice. And again, what are the double entries principles to be followed, especially in the book of the consignors and also in the book of the consignee? Number 1, when there is goods on consignment, that when goods are sent on consignment to the consignee, the consignor in his book, what is he going to do? He is going to debit consignment account with the amount of goods sent. So going to debit what consignment account with the amount of goods sent within a period. and we're going to debit what the consignment account is the amount of goods sent within the period. That is when he purchased the goods and the goods sent to the consignee. No, for the consignee, we're going to debit consignment account with the amount of goods sent. Now, if the consignors pay any form of expenses within the period, and you can debit credit purchase accounts, and let me complete that. So if the consignor pay any form of expenses within the period, the double entries for that is for the consignor to credit bank account or cash account and debit consignment account for the amount of expenses paid by the consignor itself on consignments. While also the next transaction can also have is all of the expenses paid by the consignee on behalf of the consignment. So the consignee can also pay some amount of expenses. So to determine the amount of expenses paid, what will happen? Paid by the consignee, double entry is for us to debit consignment account, and we are going to credit the consignee account because the debtor account, once is one paying the expenses, and the consignor will be the one to be what? So be responsible for such an expenses. So the consignee account will be debited with the amount of what? Expenses paid by the consignee on behalf of the consignment. And again, a consignment account will be debited for that. And again, in the book of the consignors, any form of commission we see, because the consignee will be entitled to commission will be paid for the what? For the consignee, to the consignee, because the consignee, the only aspect in which the consignee can actually gain from the sales of the goods is by paying commission, and commission is usually paid to the consignee based on the number of items of the goods sold. So it's going based on what item of what all the goods sold. So what we are going to do is, with the commission, we are going to debit consignment account. We are going to debit consignment account and credit consignee account with the amount of commission. So in the period, if the goods were being sold by the consignee, what was the double entry we are going to carry out? We are going to credit consignment account and debit consignee account with the amount of goods sold in a period. That is in the book of what? In the book of the consignor. Now let's talk about in the book of the consignee. If the goods are being sold to the consignee, there is no double entry is actually required in that aspect. Now, if the consignee pays some assessed amount of expenses in respect of the consignment, what will the consignee do in the book of the consignor, in the account of consignor? The account of the consignor is going to be what? It's going to be debited. It is going to be debited with the amount of expenses paid on behalf of the consignment, because it's paid on behalf of the consignment, and the account maintained by the consignor on behalf of the consignor, like the consignor account, is called the creditor's account. Now, the sales made by the consignee in the period will be credited to the consignor's account. So any form of sales will be credited to the consignor's account, and that will be debited to the bank account, and expenses paid will be debited to the what? To the consignor account, and that will be credited to the bank account. So any form of bill payable, if you have a bill payable, within a period, what will happen? So if you have bill payable within the period, what will happen? The consignor account will be debited, while bill payable account will be what? Will be credited with the amount of bills to be payable to the consignors. And if you have any form of goods sold on credits to the debtor, what will happen? Debtor's account will be debited, while the consignor's account will be credited with the amount of credit sales in the period. So if at all the consignor receive amount of bill by the what? By the consignee, what is going to do in his book? So the bill receivable account will be debited, while the consignee's account will be credited with the amount of the bills in the period. Now let's take an illustrative question for better understanding. Let's take an both in the book of the consignor and in the book of the consignee. So we have an example referring to the consignment to AW Surely Ice Cold Refrigerator Limited, paid on February 20. Freight and shipping charges were being paid by Ice Cold Refrigerators. That is 160 naira and insurance 70 naira. They also received the attached account sales. So AW Surely on May 12. Okay. Account is on May 12. So they received an account sales from AW Surely on May 12. Now the cost of the refrigerator is 1,000 naira to Ice Cold. So the account is of 50 refrigerator MV, that is the name of the refrigerator. MV Boni last sold for the account of Ice Cold Refrigerator Limited. So we have these account sales. 50 refrigerator at 70 naira each is this. we have to deduct the landing charges, port dues, commission paid by commission to be received by the consignor, which is AW surely. The creditor commission also to be received by what? AW surely, and this is the account to be paid to that. So we can open the book. We can open in the book of what? Of the consignor. We can prepare the account in the book of the consignor. So we are going to have in the book of the consignor, we are going to have consignment account. We have consignment account. And what is the first thing? Cost of the refrigerator is 1,800 to ICE code. So we have purchased or cost of the item 1,800 rather. Okay, he paid freight and shipping charges. So what will happen? That will be debited to consignment account and credited to bank account. So you have freight and shipping paid by the ICE code itself. So we have 160 rather. So you also pay the insurance. That will be debited to consignment account. That will be 17 naira. So we receive an account sales from what? From AW surely. So 50 refrigerator at 17 naira each. So you can open the consignee account. Consignee account, debit and credit. So what will happen? 50 refrigerator at 17 naira, that will be sales. So consignee account will be debited with the amount of sales. So you have 3,500 naira. So he paid the following expenses within the period. He paid landing charges. So we are going to debit consignee account with the amount of sales, which is 3,500 naira, and credit consignment account if we have sales 3,500 naira. Now the next thing is landing charges. So he paid landing charges, which is 120 naira, because this is the debtor's account. So that will be credited to the consignee account and debited to what? Consignment account. So we have landing charges, which is 120,000 naira. This shows the cost of the goods sent on consignment. Now the next thing is port dues. Where are port dues? We are going to what? Credit consignment account with the amount of port dues paid by the consignment, by the consignee on behalf of the consignment, and that will be transferred. That will be credited, debited to what? Consignment account, double entry. Port dues, which is 16 naira. And the next thing we have import duties paid by the consignee on behalf of the consignment, which is 200, and that will be transferred to the what? To the consignment account. Import duties 200. Now the next thing is commission paid in the period. You have commission. You have 5% commission paid, so that is 175. That will also be transferred to the what? To the consignment account. 175. So we have the creditor commission. We have the creditor commission, which is 2%. So was paid 70. So we have the creditor commission, which is 2%. That will be 70. So we can actually balance the account now. Balance the account for the period. We have 1,800 plus 160 plus 70 plus 120 plus 60 plus 200 plus 175 plus 70. You have 2,665. Okay, 1,665 and 2,665, 655, 1,655. We have 2,655. So balance carried down. Okay, that will be profit on consignment. That will be profit on consignment. I'll take 3,500 made by the consignor. So minus 3,500, that gave us 845. That is the profit made by the consignor on consignment. So the next thing is to balance this account now. The total is 3,500 and the total is going to be 160 plus 60 plus 200 plus 175 plus 70. So we have 625. The differences will give us the amount to be paid, the amount to be received from the consignee, which is bank, which will be credited to his account, and that is will give us 2875. So we have 3,500 in the account of the consignee, 3,500 account. So that is all about the consignment in the book of the consignor. Now let's move to the book of the consignee. In the book of the consignee, so in the book of the consignee, the consignor will not know in the book of the consignee will not know much about the cost of the goods. We don't know about the freight and shipping paid by the consignor. It doesn't have problem with that. Business with that. It doesn't have business with insurance. So what is having business is the consignor's account itself. This is maintain account of consignor, account, credit and debit, which is usually a creditor's account. So whenever it sells goods in the period, A is going to what? Credit consignor account with the amount of sales and debit bank account, which is 3,500. So any of the expenses paid by the consignor on behalf of the consignor will be debited to the consignor account and will be what? Credited to what? To bank account. So all of this will be debited now because these are the expenses he paid on behalf of the what? Consignment. So we have 120. So we have port duties 60. We have import duties 200. We have commission 5%, 175. We have the commission. We have 70. So we have amount to be paid back to the consignor, which is going to be 2875. So bank account will be credited in that way. So we have 3,500 naira plans account 3,500 naira. So this is what we are going to have in the book of the consignee. So this is what we are going to have in the book of the word consignee. We're going to maintain the consignor account, and without any other account like debtors account, since the goods are no, we don't have any information as goods sold on credit. We can't have bill payable account since there's no anything on bills. So this is an interesting account, the consignment account. So we've done much about the consignment account. We talk about the consignments. We talk about the parties to the consignment, which is the consignor and the consignee. So if you have any issues as regards to the topic, be aware to replay the video, and again some exercises will be displayed on your screen. Be aware to attend such questions. Thank you.